Sometimes my connection takes a minute.
No, you're good.
What's up, boys and girls? It's Wednesday. We're getting ready to start this evening's interview with Miss Heather Lillie I have here with me. Beautiful woman. We're just waiting a couple minutes for some people to jump in, and then we'll go ahead and get going. In the meantime, if you are tuning in, go ahead and hit that share button. Share it with your friends. Share it with all the people. And then we'll get started here in just a second. So I'm going to go ahead and share this out. Hey, Cheryl. You're always my number one in the chat, which I love, by the way, Ma. Thank you for that.
She's great. Hi, Cheryl. I haven't even met her in person, really. So
She's like straight up like everybody's con mom. She's awesome. All right. So go ahead and share this out, guys and gals. We're going to go ahead and get this started in just a few minutes. I'm going to toss that intro up there. And we're going to get chatting. So I hope you guys are having a good Wednesday. This week's going by pretty fast, luckily. All right, I'm going to go ahead and toss up our intro, and we're going to get this party started. What's up, boys and girls? Dead Girl here, coming at you this Wednesday evening. And tonight, we've got a very special guest with us. We have Mrs. Heather Lillie. She is our friend and children's author. She wrote a book, so she's here to talk to us about it today. Why don't you go ahead and tell the folks at home a little bit about you that maybe haven't met you yet, or, you know, you're a new face to a lot of us. So yeah, go ahead and tell us a little bit about you.
okay. Hi, guys. So Erica just announced my name, so you know that. I wrote this book, and I just recently had it published on May 19th, and it's kind of just like a children's spooky book. I like to paint, I like to write, so I did the illustration and the writing in in the book altogether. What else? I like classic horror, I like art, I like cool people, so here I am.
Yay! Now, this actually is going to flow into one of my other questions, which you kind of already answered. So you did all of the artwork and the story in the book, correct?
Yep, I did. Yep, all the paintings, the writing. Well, actually, my 4-year-old helped me do that. He's 5 now, so
That's awesome.
he helped me write the book. He gave me some feedback while I was doing it.
Ah, like, Mom, this isn't cool, or hey, Mom, this is great. You should do this.
Oh yeah, he was on top of me. Like if I messed it up, he was like, "No, Mom, it was supposed to be a purple zombie." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I thought it was going to be pink."
I love it. I love it. Now, is this your first publication that you have?
Well, I've had poetry published in the past before because I write poetry and things like that. So I've had poetry published, but this is my first book publication, and I'm working with like a small indie publishing group who kind of like I was put in contact with through a mutual friend on Facebook. It was kind of a weird situation. I actually wrote the book in 2018. I did the paintings and had the book made into like a little, like shutterfly kind of thing for my son for a gift. And
Aw, that's awesome.
yeah, I wanted to get it finished by Halloween that year and I couldn't do it. So I ended up giving it to him for Christmas instead, which is fine. Halloween on Christmas, we all do that, right?
Yes.
So, so I ended up giving it to him for Christmas. And then last fall, I brought it out again because it came up in my Facebook memories and I was reading it online in a video. And this horror host named Drac, he's Drac and Karita's, they do like a midnight horror show. I think they're in like Ohio or something.
Cool.
Anyway, I follow their page. So he saw that and he's like, "Hey, I really love your book. I think it would be great for this publisher that I'm working with," because he also wrote a book too that he got published by this company. And he put me in contact with Brad at Arcane Shadows. And then Brad and I started working together. Then all the COVID-19 stuff happened, so we got delayed. And it's been a long process getting it out there, but we finally, crunch time came and we got it done by Jasper's birthday, which is awesome because I wrote the book for him. It's like dedicated to
Aw,
him.
that's great.
So that was the day we picked to release it. And it's been on Amazon since then. And it's only available in paperback format right now. We haven't done the ebook.
Okay.
So
So get
Yeah.
a hard copy of it on Amazon. That's the next thing I was going to ask. It's available on Amazon. That's awesome. The publisher that you worked with now, do they specifically go towards like the darker, like the horror and the the Halloween type element? I'm not familiar with them.
Yes. Okay, so it's Arcane Shadows Press, and Brad Braddock operates it. And basically, a lot of their writing is like classic horror, like Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff, kind of thing like
Oh,
that.
nice.
So yeah, that's kind of the focus of their books. And the ones that they've done are more for adults. Like this is their first children's book that they've published. And when I was
Oh,
working with him, yeah, he got really excited. He's like, I really like this, and it could be something that, I would like to add to our family of, art authors and illustrators and things like that. So it was really fun to just experience that because they're growing and I'm kind of growing myself. So we're kind of figuring things out together, which is cool. And planning, the whole like promoting it and doing like book signings and things like that too. So it's been a lot of fun.
that's awesome. So
And
now,
there, yeah.
you wrote it for your son, and he helped you along the
Mhm.
way. So what made you sit down and go, you know what, I'm gonna write a book for my little child here? What got you in that zone?
Well, at the time, I think that was the year that I was homeschooling the kids, probably, and it might have been the year I was homeschooling them. I don't know. I did 1 year of homeschool, and my husband was like out of town like every other week, so I was home alone a lot with the kids, and we were doing all kinds of art and projects and things at home. And him being 4, I was just trying to teach him how, like, his colors and how to read and things, and we'd go to the library all the time. And we checked out all the Halloween books every time we were there, no matter what time of the year it was. So it was like, there was only like 15 Halloween books at the library.
Right, you can only read the same one
And
so many times before it's like,
right?
all right, that's it. I'm doing it.
Yeah, I'm tired of the spooky bat story, so let's just write our own. So and he just loves Halloween. We all do. We really do. And it's like a big deal for us in our house. And so we just sat down one day and I was like, okay, Jasper, we're going to write a book. Let's think of some characters. And we came up with all the colors and we added a character for each color. And then we like wrote down the little song. It was kind of a song at first. So we wrote it down and then we sang it together and he made sure I got all the words right. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to do a painting for each one of these characters we've just created. And then I spent like a month, a little over a month, making 13 paintings for this
Oh,
book that I was going to
wow.
make for him. Yeah, it was like a painting every couple of days I was doing this. And, with each one, I just got more and more excited. And then I got it all together. And then I just went on like, online and had the prototype book made, I guess you can call
Yeah.
it now, which was the original book that I had made. And everyone's like, oh, I want your book. I want your book. And I'm like, you know what? For me to make this book, it was kind of expensive. I wouldn't even be able to like,
Charge somebody
you
for
know,
what?
just, yeah, I wouldn't
Yeah.
even be able to justify it. I would be like, just to sell it to you at cost, you wouldn't even want to pay for what I paid. So I had that done and then it just turned out really great. And I'm really happy with the way the paintings and everything came out in the book that Brad did. Um, they're very, similar to my own paintings that I have at home, which is cool. Like they didn't really like, the quality of the painting wasn't really affected or anything like that, like the details and stuff.
That's
So I was
awesome.
happy with that.
And it's
Yeah.
it's
And
definitely I've read some of it, and it's definitely like it's that perfect age to where, like you said,
mhm.
you were teaching him colors and ABCs and all the fun things, and it's that perfect age book for those little ones, and I absolutely love that. There aren't a lot of those out there that are Halloween or spooky themed.
I know. And that's what made me sad. I was like, I'm so tired of checking out all these like, books from the library. And I was like, man, he's not even picking out anything else every time we go. So I just made him one. And I was just going to say, it is a good book for that age group, but also for the older kids too, like older siblings, who are learning to read can read it to the younger siblings. And that's kind of like helpful to them too. And it's just fun all around. I'm a big classic horror fan, and I just kind of like want to keep that aesthetic, like, being appreciated in the younger generations. And like I'm real big on like, the Munsters and Addams Family and things like that.
You
So
gotta raise them
I just really,
right. Gotta raise them right on that
yeah,
classic horror
so
first.
right. And to appreciate it too, to
Yes.
appreciate like the original Frankenstein and Dracula and stuff. So
Yes. That's
We're
that's
big on
awesome. I love it. I think it's fantastic. Now you did doing all the artwork and then writing it itself. How long did it take you to put everything together where you were actually like happy with it? Where you were in that good place, like okay, it's good enough, to go ahead and give to him, and then I'm putting it to print now. Like, what was the steps to that?
Well, the paintings themselves were pretty simple once I got started. I was just kind of like making sure that all the characters fit into this world together, like that they were the same size on the canvas and everything, and that each one kind of like was similar enough to the other to fit in. And it took me, I started around October 1st of 2018,
Okay.
and I finished on November 10th with the
Oh
paintings.
wow. Okay. And you got quite
So,
a few paintings in there too. It's not like it's just one. You've got, stuff on just about every page, so it was a
right.
lot.
And it's like original art. So you're kind of buying like a book of original art too, which is cool. So then after that, I just spent probably the next, couple of weeks because I went back into, editing the pages and making sure I like the text and the font and all the colors and everything and the backgrounds. So it took me a couple of weeks to do that, and then I ordered it, and it came sometime in like December. So for 2 months, it took about 2 months to get it all together, like the wording and everything just right, the layout and everything. And then I ordered it and got it in December and saved it for Christmas.
You're like a little speed demon. Because I mean, I know a lot. I'm friends with some other authors, and granted, they all write different books, but that's pretty fast, there, woman. Good for you.
That was fast. And honestly, at that time in my life, I was just so like inspired just creatively. Like I was just really like coming into myself, I think, as an artist. And I was just like going to the library all the time. Every time I would go, I'd get like all kinds of reference books and history books and just everything that I could to educate myself on different topics. And I was just doing all kinds of paintings at that time.
That's awesome.
And I've kind of slowed down now, like with just the environment of the world. It kind of like depresses me a little bit. So I've had like a creative block. Um, and I've really been trying to get through that lately because I need to like get my groove back. I've got like 25 paintings in my head and like two novels and like two more children's books, like all just like floating around in here, and I just can't get them out right now.
It's definitely tough. Just kind of glancing at the chat real quick. You got your hubby's watching, your sister's in there. We got some friends in there. Everybody's saying hi and how proud of you they are, and what a great job you're doing and you've done. So that's awesome. And all the love.
Yay. Yeah, I've
Yay.
been sharing it, so hopefully people can check in, have a fun time.
Yeah, and I mean, it'll be on here later on if anybody, has to bow out for whatever reason. It'll be here for a rewatch. I'm also going to throw it up on the YouTube. I'll also put the link to where they can go in and purchase the book. Also, I had a couple of people asking, have you thought about vending anywhere and bringing copies of the book with you to sell?
I have. So what I want to do this summer is I'd like to schedule one book signing. I'd like to find a local coffee shop or someplace that I can just do a little book signing at.
Okay.
I've ordered some copies and I don't have them yet. They're on their way. So I ordered like 20 copies for myself to see how it goes with like a book signing, but I can order copies anytime I want. The publisher has really been great with me. They're very, very fair, a very fair publishing group. I know people who've been burned with publishing,
Yeah, I've heard some horror
and
stories.
yeah, I can tell that they are just they're in it because they have a passion for
Hmm.
it, and it's not like a moneymaker for them. They're not looking to get rich off of anyone. And so, just to get your art out there or your writing out there, to be able to do that without all the drama and the hurt and everything, it's just really nice. So basically, what I'm thinking is we have a local bookstore or a local coffee shop, sorry, and I was thinking about getting in touch with them to do a signing this summer. And then there's a bookstore that I know of in Lakeland. My friend Jeannie Folder just opened up, and it looks amazing, by the way. It's called the Unbound Bookery, and I'm going to get in touch with her very soon and talk to her about maybe popping in for a book signing and some coffee or something.
That would be
And you
fun.
guys, you guys have that one in Orlando too, right?
We've got so not me as in me personally, but
Right.
we do some work with Coffee Shop of Horrors. They're actually in Mount Bird, and then they just opened up their sister location, Jonesy's Escape, which is in, I always say it wrong, Tavares or Tavares. It's down the road from
Okay.
Mount Bird.
Where the train station is,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere, which is fantastic. It's a beautiful drive. But I mean, I'm sure, definitely I would say reach out to them because that would fit in perfectly with them if that's something, I think that would be really cool. And they do a lot of different events, especially at the new location. They do like karaoke and things like that. So I think a book signing would be a good thing to maybe touch base with them on. I'll get you
Cool.
some info.
Yeah, I'll definitely get in touch with them. And I was going to say the one here locally in Brooksville, they do like a little fall market every year, and it's kind of like centered around like Halloween. So, you have the vendors and stuff down there selling their crafts and crystals and creations and whatnot. And we also have a local haunted house that does a market around Halloween too. So they have like the walkthrough, and you can go through the house like on their spooks. They set it up like a haunted house. They have like haunt actors and things like that in there,
Oh, that's
and then they
cool.
have like performers like the hula hooper with fire and stuff like that outside, and then they have
Nice.
little booths and stuff, and like the team of paranormal investigators are there. It's really
What's
cool.
the
It's
name
really
of
cool.
that
They do it
one?
every year. That is the May Stringer House in Brooksville. It's our
Ah,
local haunted house. I have
yes.
yet to go on a haunted tour,
It's my
but
goal.
they were,
That's one of my
yeah,
goals.
me too, me too. And if you guys want to like set up a group tour, which would be great for me because I like to do things with friends. But
Yes. Let's
yeah,
figure
if
that out. We'll
anyone,
make that happen. That would be a lot of fun to do, and we'll get some friends together, see who's interested, and see if we can't do a big old fat group. And I mean, we'll have to get a hotel because that's not really close for us. But I'm game. I think that'd be awesome.
yeah, and I think Cheryl would probably like let you crash at her pad if you need a place to stay.
Oh yeah.
Just putting it out there. I know that she's put the offer out to you.
Heather's
So.
volunteering your couch for us, Cheryl, which she I love them. They're amazing. We've stayed with them before and kind of hung out. They're good people. So that's awesome. So all right, so we're looking to get some. You're looking to get some signings set up and things like that. I think that that's fantastic. And then you mentioned that you had a couple of other books floating around in your head there. So once you get going back on that creative bandwagon, I definitely look forward to see what you're coming up with. And now, not only are you an author, but you also, as you mentioned, you do a lot of paintings as well.
Hmm.
Do
Yeah.
you do commissions? I know you sell some of your pieces, but I was just curious, do you do any type of commission work?
I have done commissions in the past, and I've like learned some lessons about commissions. Like the deposit thing and all that stuff.
Yes.
But yeah, it's been a learning process for me. I've done some commissions, and it was successful in the end after getting through all of the logistics of it and everything, all the details. But I can do commissions. I usually just paint whatever I feel like inspired to paint, and then just try to sell it so my house doesn't get filled with all of my stuff. And like I just get inspired like to do different styles of things too. I've been doing a lot of watercolor,
Nice.
but then I got into like palette knife painting. I've done like the spray paint, stuff.
Ooh,
I've done all kinds of stuff, and it's just like, okay, I've conquered this. Now my brain wants to move on to the next thing. So
that's
I'm like
awesome. So you're always
a Jill of all
growing.
trades. Yeah. Yeah, just always trying to learn everything. Like I call it being a Renaissance woman.
No, it's fantastic. Trust me. I mean, there's a lot of people that they work in a medium and they get comfortable, and sometimes they'll expand out a little bit, which I think it's fantastic. That you're broadening and you're reaching out there. I think that that's awesome. Now I know that we've got a lot of friends that have a lot of little ones that I'm sure would be more than interested in a spooky book. Do you have a couple of pages you could read for us?
Oh yeah, I do. I have the prototype book, the original one that I had made because I
Nice.
don't have my copies yet. So it looks a little bit different. Like the cover is different on this
Oh,
one
okay.
because we changed the title too, but everything else is basically the same. When you get your book in the mail or whatever, or you buy it at the signings, it's going to be what you see on the screen here. It's going to be like the orange book with the jack-o'-lantern and
Here,
everything
I
else.
think I've
And
got good pictures of that. Let me pop that up here real quick
right.
just to show.
The coloring on the inside is basically the same. Mine looks a little bit different as far as like the wording and everything goes, but I think Brad did a really good job with the layout of it. So like I sent to him, the words and the images, and he kind of like put it together for me with his program. and he
Nice.
did a really good job. It's actually probably a little bit more user friendly, because the way I did mine is more of like I did it for aesthetics, like so it looked cool to me. But for like children learning to read, the way he did it might actually be a little bit better.
And then on the
Um,
back, I see you've got you and all the little children's.
oh yeah, me and all the kids,
Aw.
all four of them. Yep. And
Good
then the
God woman.
zombie is like, yeah, I know. Got my hands full. Then the zombie, I think, is like probably my favorite character, so I put him on the back. So,
He's awesome. All right, let me switch back
yeah.
to us here real quick.
Yeah. So, and let's see here. So I'll show you like the size and everything. Like these are, I have the paintings here with me. So like these are the paintings I did. And I made them small just so that I could get them done quickly. Like, let me open this up. Like there's the jack-o'-lantern
I
and
love
the
him.
zombie. Isn't he
So
awesome?
cute.
I really do love him. And then the pink Slimer girl. And I had like little backpacks made for the kids with their favorite characters on it and stuff. So like that's another option I might
Those are
have.
so
Like when I,
cute. Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
So like when I do the book signings, I'm thinking about getting someone to print stickers for me of like the little characters and stuff.
Yes, girl.
So like, if you purchase the book, you get a sticker kind of thing
I've
or
got a
whatever.
company. I'll send you the info that does stickers because I
This
get
guy
them
is so
too. So
cool.
that would be I got somebody good for you. Those are so adorable.
And spider. Like they're not in order, but it's
That's
cool.
awesome.
And then I love this guy too.
The
This is
little
like,
vampire.
oh
A
yeah.
little Nosferatu action.
Yeah, I told you, classic horror all the
Oh
way.
yeah.
And then this guy is kind of cool. He's a little blue zombie. So yeah, I'm thinking about just using these characters maybe to write another book, because what I loved about like the Munsters and the Addams Family and stuff is they kind of had like some little like lessons or values or
Yes.
whatever to teach and stuff in the show. Like it was funny and it was kitschy and it was like all spooky and everything, but they had like typical family problems and stuff like that.
They had the
So
life
I was thinking
lessons
about
at the end of the shows where it was like Herman or
right.
Lily would sit down and say, okay, now, what did we learn? And this is, it just, I think that that's awesome. And I love the fact that you're incorporating that into the book.
Yeah, and I just kind of want to expand on that world just a little bit, even if it's only just one other book. I've got an idea for a storyline. I'm just going to see, where it goes, if I can actually create that kind of scene with the paintings and keep those characters similar enough to keep the same kind of family together. But anyway, here you
Story
go.
time. Buckle up,
So,
kids.
do you do you want me to read the whole story? Because it's kind of short. It's
It's up
not
to you if
like
you want
it
to read
takes
a couple of
forever.
pages. If you feel like reading it, girl, that's your call.
Okay, I'm free. I can do it. All right. So the title is Orange Jack-o'-lantern, Orange Jack-o'-lantern, What Do You See? And when you go into the book, it's just going to have like the dedication and stuff. Mine's a little bit different, so I'm just going to just read what I have, and then when you get yours, you'll see that it's the differences and the similarities. All right, so on All Hallows Eve, when the stars shine bright, take a look around, and you just might get a fright. Orange jack-o'-lantern, what do you see? I see a black spider hanging above me. Black spider, what do you see? I see a green witch cackling at me. Green witch, what do you see? I see a blue goblin waving at me. Blue goblin, what do you see? I see red vampire eyes peering at me. Red vampire eyes, what do you see? I see a purple zombie running by me. Purple zombie, what do you see? I see a pink Slimer oozing by me. Pink Slimer, what do you see? I see a white ghost floating by me. White ghost, what do you see? I see a gray owl staring at me.
Love it.
Gray owl, what do you see? I see a brown werewolf winking at me. Brown werewolf, what do you see? I see a yellow moon smiling at me. Yellow moon, what do you see? I see children screaming trick or treat. Children, what do you see? we see an orange jack-o'-lantern, black spider, green witch, blue goblin, red vampire eyes, purple zombie, pink slimer, white ghost, gray owl, brown werewolf, and yellow moon, all out to fright on All Hallows Eve. Let's see.
Aw, yay! I love it. It's seriously like the perfect
Thanks.
thing for little ones.
Yeah, it was like awesome. He made me read it to him so many times. My nephews too. I was like, "Come on, guys. I've already read it like 50
Like, at this point,
times."
you're just like, all right, here, and you're just reading along. That's awesome. I love how supportive your family is with it, and how much. I mean, it speaks volumes for kids to love something that much for them to want you to continue to read it over and over again. Because a lot of kids don't they don't have that attention span anymore. You know what I mean? So they're like they kind of get over
Absolutely.
stuff really fast.
Yeah, and it really like made me feel happy that, people were sending me videos this past week of them like reading the book to their kids. They're like, "Oh, my kid loves it. They want to hear it again and again." My friend bought one for her friend's grandson, and she's like, "He's already had to read it to him like 100 times." And I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Well, that's great."
Aw, that's awesome. You're getting a lot of love in the chat. Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Auntie Heather. That was from Brianna, or Brienne, sorry. Got a couple of friends of ours chiming in saying how adorable it is. It sounds awesome. Yeah, all kinds of love. I love it. I love the fact that you've color coded every page to go with it. I think that's
Oh yeah, that was a process. Like Brad and I had to go through that because he'd never done a children's book before. So he sent it to me and it was just like white pages and the images and stuff. I'm like, "Brad, this is a kid's book. We have to like make it appealing and like attractive and like we have to like make these kids learn these colors." So like we worked together and like we video chatted and everything. And he was so cool about it. Like he's like, "You know what? I'm not going to put this book out there unless you absolutely love it." He's like, "It's got to be what you want." So, I mean, if you're looking to work with somebody who's like really cool and laid back and not going to like, overrun you and everything, they're really like just good to go with, I think.
That's awesome. And then you said you had a couple of more rooting around in there as far as children's books go. And then do you have any adult teenage book ideas floating around as well?
I actually do. I don't know. I came up with this idea for a photo shoot that I want to do with some friends, and then it kind of evolved in the last couple of weeks into a novel,
Nice.
which happens with me all the time. Like my brain just takes one thing and then it just goes with it and creates like a whole new world. But so I think what I'm going to try to do is get this photo shoot done, write like a little storyline to go with it, and maybe do like a story in the images and then use that as the inspiration for the novel that I'm going to do.
Nice.
So it's going to kind of have like maybe like a gothic kind of feel. So we'll see how it goes.
Very cool.
Yeah. And then the other book I'm writing, I've been writing it probably for like 2 or 3 years. I've only got like little bits and pieces put together, but it's wanting to be kind of like a ghost story.
Oh,
So we'll see where that
nice.
goes. Yeah, I try not to like pressure myself too much because it's not like,
Right. You don't have a
if
deadline.
it's
You're
going to be
like, when I get
good.
it done, I get it
Yeah.
done.
I mean, I like doing commissions for that reason because I know that I'm going to be productive if I have a commission. Like if I tell somebody I'm going to get it done by such and such a day, I'm going to get it done and you're going to have your product. But it's like if I'm doing it for my own personal pleasure, I usually like don't push myself to like create or finish anything by a certain time. It's always about emotion with me too. So like if I'm in a good mood or if I'm in like a moody mood, then it's just gonna, it's gonna inspire something. But it all depends on that kind of like feeling or vibe I have going on at the time.
Yeah. No, I can appreciate that, and I can totally understand that. My husband does a lot of special effects, and it he has his moments of like, I'm gonna make all the things, and then he has his moments of like, he's just not feeling it. So I can understand that process of, I've got to kind of have that right mood going, that creative feel to actually get some stuff done, which I can totally respect that, and I think that's awesome. And I know a lot of your creativity or a lot of your love stems from Halloween and the classic monsters. And I wanted to ask this question just because I felt that it fit really well. from like, let's say childhood to now, what's your favorite Halloween costume that you've ever worn?
Oh my
On the
goodness.
spot.
So I know, right? I don't know. Like when I was a kid, like we did all the like basics, like, a witch like every year when I was a kid. I've done The Bride of Frankenstein twice. I did do a pop art Wonder Woman, which was really cool.
Oh, nice.
Um, yeah, so like, the pop art like painting
Mm-hmm.
style, I did the makeup style. So
That's
that was
cool.
kind of cool. Yeah. But I don't know, like I guess, and it wasn't even for Halloween. Oh, I guess it was. Was it? No. I think the bride at Spooky last year was like the best costume I've ever
She
done.
was, you did
That
such a
was
good
probably
job.
like the best thing. Yeah.
She was
I was
great.
like, I shocked myself. That was my first like that was my second convention and my first time cosplaying.
Really?
Yeah. The first convention was last August,
Okay.
Comic-Con, and I loved it so much. I was like, wow, I love these kind of people. Like I didn't even know like this kind of world existed, honestly. I didn't know that there were like horror conventions. I didn't know that there was like this whole like community, this awesome community of people who loved, spooky things and horror and dressing up and special effects. I didn't know that it was like that. I felt like I came out from under a rock or something. And I was like, wow, these are my people.
I
So
see, and I
it's
love
been
that. That's my
amazing.
favorite thing. What you just said right there is when you go for that first time and you realize, like, oh my god, like these are my people. Where have you been?
Where have I been? Like, you know what I mean? So it was just really cool. And it was something that I needed at that time in my life because, I'm like 35 this year. I'm trying to like, just be really authentic with who I am because that's like my biggest focus right now is just being really authentic and
You.
just representing myself and just trying to like be like real, like I don't want to like have any pretensions about me. I like to be transparent. I like to have genuine human interactions with people, and that's what I'm kind of craving right now. So this whole like quarantine stuff is killing me.
Yeah.
But just a little bit of socialization I've had since, it's kind of calmed down a little bit. It's been awesome. And I just miss people. I really love being in a crowd. I love people watching. I love seeing like people have a passion for dressing up or have a passion for anything, really. I love supporting the artists. I love supporting the crafters. I mean, it's just really cool. It's a cool environment to be in, and everyone's so supportive. And it's encouraging to me too, because like if I want to sell my book, I know that there are people who are going to like help me promote that. Or if I write another book, I know there's going to be people who are going to be like, hey, I got a connection for you.
Right.
I've made so many connections and friends since going to Spooky and kind of like reaching out there into that community. Because my sister, like she went to Comic-Con with me and she encouraged me. She was like, you're just looking in the wrong areas. She's like, there's got to be people out there who are like you, because I was like just feeling lonely for a long time. I was like making art and writing stuff. And I was like, there's nobody to like share this with or nobody to do anything with. And she's like, you're just looking in the wrong place. She's like, you got to join these weird art groups. You got to like join these communities and it'll come along.
She's
And
totally
then we
right,
went to
by
this
the way.
convention. Yeah, she was. And she's like one of my biggest fans. She's like one of my biggest supporters. And she's my best friend. So I was like, all right, sis, let's just go to this convention. We've been talking about it. We've been talking about it. We went to Comic-Con. We were going to dress up as Thor and Loki, but we backed out at the last minute because we were just like nervous or whatever. But we were like, man, we should have done it because when we went, we saw everybody else. Like, we regretted not doing it. That's why when we went to Spooky, we were like, we're just going to
Yep.
do this. And so I did the bride and she did Chucky, and it was so much fun. We really loved it. I wish we had been there for more than just the one day.
It's addicting. I've been going since 2004. And I've been working with them and my husband for the past 4 or 5 years, I think. And it's addicting. I've never met a group of more accepting and just down to earth people than I have going to
Right.
Spooky. And for someone like us, it's not always an easy thing to find, you know.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I mean, look at me. So I know
Oh,
what you
girl, you're
mean.
normal. Just leave it alone. But no, I'm glad that you went, and I'm glad that we got the chance to meet face to face, and chit chat and everything like that. I mean, you're truly genuine and lovely, human. Clearly. Your artwork's amazing. I
Oh,
love the
thanks.
book. I think it's going to do way better than you probably anticipated, to be honest with you. I think that once people actually hear about it more, and I think that word of mouth is going to be huge, and it's such a great thing, especially for little ones. Like, we have a lot of friends that have a lot of little ones that come to Spooky, and I think that that would be something that you pass that word of mouth along, girl.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Like, I'm just sharing with people, and I have people sharing it too. And I honestly am looking forward to like just the in-person interaction too, and like maybe doing like a reading at a book signing and stuff. Because, like I said, I love the human experience. Like, that's so important to me. Like, it's so special when someone sends me a picture of the kid with the book, or like them reading the book to the kid or something, because that's where my heart is. Like, if I could be hired to read books out loud, like that would be like a dream job for me, because I love reading to kids. It's like one of my favorite things.
That's awesome.
You should see me reading Dr. Seuss. Like, I'm hilarious when I read Dr. Seuss, but
Oh,
it's like
well, we'll have to have you come back and read us some Dr. Seuss at some
no,
point then.
not Dr. Seuss. Maybe we'll do like Edgar Allan Poe or something like that.
I
Don't make
don't
me
know.
look
You
stupid.
got me on that Dr. Seuss train. Listen, I'm a big Dr. Seuss fan. All right, there's no goofiness there. It's all the good things. Let's see. We got Cheryl chiming in the chat room. A couple people actually loving on the bride that you did at Spooky, which was again phenomenal. Um,
I know. You know what though? I was thinking, and I was going to say something because I don't get to talk to you guys much, but I saw that watermelon product,
yes,
and I was like, man, maybe I should like resurrect that look and get some of those
yes.
stitches, because I have the allergies, and I was like trying to figure out for the longest time how to do the stitches around the neck that she had and stuff around the jawline. And I didn't have stitches on mine. I just did the oh my gosh, what is the scar stuff? I can't think of the name of it. It starts with an M. But I just used that and kind of like made it look all like raw, like it was cut open. But like when I saw those products, I was like, man, this might really be something I could do.
Yeah,
So
watermelon
maybe
is
I'll bring,
great. It's created by
yeah.
a guy by the name of Mike Davey. He's actually local. Um, he's just outside of Orlando. I can't remember exactly where, but he's not too far from us. He actually created the product, and they sell it at AEO Studios. I know sells it. You could buy it directly from him. If you're hyperallergenic, or
Okay.
like you have an allergy. I know a couple people have latex allergies. It's phenomenal, and it's just you put it on with alcohol. It's my favorite thing in the world. It's an easy on, easy off. You don't need a remover. You don't have to fight with it. You literally just like stick it on. You can grab an edge and peel it off. And I've worn that stuff for like 8 to 10 hours, and it stays like
Wow.
perfect.
That's awesome. Yeah, I might resurrect that look this year and do it again, because I kept the dress and everything, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll do it again. But
Yes.
I'm doing Vampira
Are
this year,
you?
so yeah, I'm gonna be Vampira at this
Are
one.
you doing like the super
Yeah.
long nails? Are you going all out?
Yeah, girl, I'm gonna do the nails, I'm gonna do the eyebrows. I already got the dress. I got the wig. I look amazing in the wig. I wish I had that black hair, but I'm like, woo. Well, you saw the Morticia thing I did,
Yes.
right? So that's the wig I'm gonna
That's
use. Yeah.
awesome. I'm a big fan. I love her. Love Vampire. I love all the goth moms, as I like to call them. You know,
Yeah.
because they most certainly
Yep.
are. But yes, definitely resurrect her, bring her back, and that's the fun thing too about costuming. You can always upgrade and change to any of your costumes at any time, and it's always fun to see the evolution. So you can say like, okay, here's where I first started with this one, and here's where it's evolved to. So I mean, it's always a fun creative thing that you can put your heart into, and then you get these fantastic results once it's done, and once you hit that peak of like in what your mind was perfect with it.
Right. Yeah. I know. Like I when I did it, I was like, man, I wish I'd done this a little bit differently. I wish I'd done this a little bit differently, because I was like constantly trying to readjust things that that we had tried to put together at last minute. So, I mean, I definitely would like to go back and revisit that look. Maybe I'll do it at Spooky this year, because I'm going to be there for all 3 days. I got the
Yeah.
VIP pass,
Oh,
so
dude.
I can do more than one look that way,
Yes.
So,
VIP is awesome. Big fan of it. I've done VIP at Spooky, God, quite a few times, and it's great from, the front of the line as far as autographs go. You get priority seating for the Q&As, which is nice. And then there's the VIP party on Saturday night, which is so much fun, and a lot of the celebs will go like walk around and talk with you and do pictures and stuff. So, and then you get a swag bag of fun little spooky merch.
Nice. That'll be awesome.
So it's definitely really cool. Oh, and early access to the vendor room too, which is awesome. But yeah, like Cheryl and Jared, they've done different evolutions of costumes as well. I've done different evolutions of mine. So it's always fun when you get to bring that character back and you evolve her.
Yeah, I think it'll be a great experience.
It's going to be good. Now, are you going to the August show or to the October show? Or are you doing both? Have you decided?
I think, well, I'm going to do my VIP at the August show because I haven't been to that one, to the one in Orlando yet. So I'm just going to do the VIP there. And then Tampa is not far from me, so I might just do like a day or two at that in October. We'll see how it goes, see how life goes by then.
Yeah, like the Orlando show is super close. It's like 30 minutes from our house, but we always stay at the hotel anyway because it's
more fun that way.
It's more
it's
fun
easier.
And we'll have to make up booths, so it makes it easier for us to have the equipment there and everything else, and then help out if needed. So I mean, that for us is easier. And then of course, Tampa we loved last year, and we're looking forward to going back there this year too.
Nice. Yeah. It'll be a good time.
We're excited. Did you see the announcement today?
The Monsters? Yes. That's an awesome movie.
Monster Squad.
I'm excited. Yeah.
That's
very cool.
That's gonna be a lot of fun. Now, do your kids dress up too? Are they costume fans? Or are they just strictly like Halloween with the costumes, or are they just kind of
They are, like, we have a whole box full of like costumes that I've been saving for years, in their closet so that they can pull them out whenever they want. Like my daughter is 15 now, and she really has been interested in special effects and stuff. She's always like, "Mom, you should let me do this with you and this with you." And she's like, "But the problem is you have these allergies, and the stuff to get for your face is like expensive." And I'm like, "Okay, we'll figure it out." But she did a really great Tate from American Horror Story look last year.
Nice.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And the year before that, she did a witch, like a burned witch. And so she used like coffee grounds and stuff and like put burns all over herself. And it was impressive. I was impressed. And she did that for herself, and her friend did it too. And they were walking around like really spooky. It was cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. And then my son, it's all like, Power Rangers and stuff like that. So he's just like 5. So I'm like, okay, let's just buy you a costume.
Right.
He'll get into the age where it's like, okay, we'll do fun stuff when you're ready. But I'm really excited, and like, it's kind of cool that my teenager is into that stuff too, because we have a lot to bond over. Like, we sit and watch like horror movies or talk about makeups and things like that. So
that's awesome.
It's fun to do. Yeah.
So that's cool. We've got some friends in the chat. You have Reggie Ward says, "Hey Heather, it's Reggie and Kim."
Hey guys.
Sure.
They're awesome friends. They actually were at our wedding. He's the one that officiated our wedding.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I got Cheryl chiming in as well. She says you should bring your daughter with you in October. If she's getting into the spooky things, it might be something she may want to check out.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'd bring her in October. I'm dragging my husband along to the August one, I think.
We get to meet the hubby.
He's not a horror. Yeah, he's not a horror fan at all.
That's
but,
okay.
He supports.
That's okay.
He supports me, and that's important. So I'm just like, okay, maybe he can be like my cabana boy or something.
No, okay, so here's a great story for you, and this goes along the lines of that. So our friend Cheryl, who, you've chatted with online, of course, is our mom. She is not a horror fan. Her son is the big horror fan.
I know. I've seen her comments.
She
yeah.
is not a horror fan. She watches horror movies like this, and she usually does not watch them after a certain time in the evening, and if they're a little too gory. I think, what were we watching? We were watching Terrifier last weekend, and she was like, "I'm out." Because it can be a little much in some areas, which I understand. But she's slowly easing into some of the not so gory, so rough films. So she's kind of like your husband in that
Like
respect,
Monster
where it's
Squad.
not really her thing. But she's starting to kind of come around after, going to Spooky for years and hanging out with everybody. It's fun. Like, she'll watch a movie and be like, I met him. I didn't know he was in this. And I'm like, yes, Mom.
Oh, that's
So
funny.
it's kind of fun. So that's why it kind of reminded me of, when you said that your husband wasn't really a big horror fan, that I immediately thought of Cheryl.
Yeah, I know. Like, so when he's out of town, that's when I like watch horror movies, or like I get Kaylee in the room. I'm like, hey, come in here. Let's watch Bates Motel, or
Nice.
let's watch The Haunting of Hill House or something. Like get in here. So we'll spend a couple of nights while he's out of town doing that. But I've been trying to convince him to let me do like, a look on him for a while. I'm like, you would really make a great Hellboy, and
I
I
could see that
could be
in
Liz.
pictures that I've seen of your husband. I could see a good
Right?
Hellboy character. James, just I know you're
Yes.
watching. I see you
Yes.
chiming in saying that you like Cheryl. Just let your wife do it, man. Just let her do it. It's
Seriously.
awesome. You'll love it. It's fun. Just do it.
He could even be like, we could even do like Joyce and Hopper from Stranger Things. I don't know. There's like a lot of
See, and
options for us.
that's
Like,
an easy one. It's not as makeup heavy as Hellboy, because let's face it, that's a lot of red. Um, but I like
but it would be
it would be
awesome.
awesome, definitely. But I do like the Joyce and Hopper. That would be an easy ease into it for sure. But the makeup route, I think Hellboy would be badass.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna get him there. Trust me.
Now, see that you got all the women against you, James. At this point, we're all like, just do it. It's fine.
Is everyone saying yeah?
I know Cheryl's like, bring the daughter. She's gonna bring her. She's thinking about it, Mom. Maybe in October. I think the October show's a
Yeah,
good
I
show
think I
because that's
will.
more of the spring show is more of like their retro show. They do have horror guests and things like that, but they have a lot of non-horror guests too, which I think is phenomenal. But then their October show is the bigger show, and that's usually the more horror focused show. That people are used to seeing, of course, and going to as well. So we're excited for all of them. She says, Cheryl says, bring the stuff for James and let him walk around the first day, just normal, and then stick him in costume on Saturday and Sunday.
That's a good idea. That way he can see that like everybody's supportive. Nobody's gonna judge you. Like
There,
you don't feel
yeah.
you don't feel silly doing it. You think like, okay, what if I feel silly, or what if I feel like out of place? But you don't.
It's very normal, as odd as that sounds, to walk around in costume, whether it's their spring show or their October show. It's a very normal thing because most of the attendees are in costume, whether it's at the
Right.
after parties or if it's during the show itself or even beforehand, or even like like a lot of the times some of us will stay like the night before and we'll get in costume and just kind of hang out and party. So I mean it's fine. It's fine. Just do it.
It's like a big costume party.
It really
You're
is.
cooler if you wear a costume.
It really is. It really, really is. Poor James, he's like, oh my God.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Trust
Cheryl,
me.
she's like, I'm over 60 and I costume every show. And she does. Every show she costumes. And her son do.
I've seen her pictures. It's amazing the things that they do. Yeah.
They're ridiculously awesome. I absolutely love it. So, all right, let's see what we got here. We're getting to almost wrap up time. So while we're getting towards the end here, boys and girls, does anybody have any questions for Heather? Is there anything that you guys would like to know? Her book is available on Amazon. Orange Jack-o'-lantern,
Yep.
what do you see?
And honestly, if you just type in my name, it'll come right up.
Oh,
So that's probably
perfect.
like the easiest way to find it, is just to type my name in.
Awesome. Which is Heather and then Lillie, Lillie. Let's go on Amazon,
Yep.
buy a copy. Once I upload this to YouTube, I'll go ahead and I'll hyperlink it in so you guys will be able to click on the link off the description. So that'll be good. Let's see. All right. Does anybody have any questions? It's popping in. I'm just scrolling through the chat here real quick to see if we missed anything. You got all kinds of. You got a couple of people saying how much they love the artwork, which, oh my God, it's now. Have you thought about selling this is a question for me. Huh? Have you thought about selling the art in the book on its own?
Like the original prints
Yeah, or even
or
doing prints
prints
of
of it.
them.
I've thought about doing prints. Like I said, I was thinking like stickers would be a really good idea. Or maybe do like little bookmarks or something. Um, but then I also had, like I said, the kids, I made them like little backpacks of their favorite characters. So I had each one pick a favorite
That's
character, and
cool.
I had like little drawstring backpacks made with the character on it. And I did that for the kids for like Christmas or something last year. So that was kind of like a fun little thing to do. And those are, something that you can do like a bundle thing. I was
Yeah,
thinking like if you bought a book and a backpack for the kid,
I
pick
love
out
that
whatever their favorite character
idea.
is. Yeah.
Your husband says that you need to show your painting, Bats in the Belfry.
Oh, the
Yes.
painting. I think, well, I have to go dig it out, but um,
He says he always gets the name wrong.
do you want me to? It's Bats and Belfry. Do you want me to go grab it real
If
quick?
you
I
got
don't
it
know.
handy, sure. I'll slice through the
Yeah, it's
comments.
it's handy. It'll just take a
Awesome.
second.
Yes,
I'll be
I'd
right
love to
back.
see it. All right, we got to run away to go find the painting. No, you got it right, James, she said. You did good on that one. Molding, Cheryl, are you talking about sculpting? Perhaps. That's awesome, Natasha. I'm excited to see it. I can't wait. I love all the art, any art. She's back.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
your husband's
All right.
bragging on you.
Oh, is he?
Like a good
So
husband.
this is just a thanks, babe. This is just a print of the painting because the painting is like put away in one of my sketchbooks, but let's see if I can get it without the glare.
Oh, you had it almost. Yeah, wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, you've seen this one
Yes,
before, I
I've seen that on
think. You shared
Facebook.
it on
I'll
your
have to share
page.
that out so that everybody can see it. But that is gorgeous.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite paintings I've done. I
Now,
don't
do you
know
sell the
if you can
prints
see
for
it or not.
those?
Yeah, I do have some prints that I can sell of this one. Um, I've sold it framed like that. I like to go to like, vintage stores and like antique places and stuff and buy frames and put my art in it and sell it that
Nice.
way. Um, just because I think it gives it character
Yes.
to have like those vintage frames and like, just some piece of emotion tied to it. Um, but I do have prints that are matted and sleeved that you can just buy like that and then put them in your own frame if you want.
Okay, awesome.
So,
Now, if somebody
yeah.
wants to purchase a print from you, do they just reach out to you through Facebook? Do you have another outlet that you're selling through right now?
Um, you can just do Facebook. Like I don't have an Etsy or anything like that. I'm terrible about staying on top of things. I'm terrible about selling things really.
It's okay.
Like people like will do the commissions and stuff like that, or I'll be like, hey, this is for sale, and I'm not very successful at it, I guess, because I don't like stay on top of it like, the
You don't push it like
MLM
some
people do.
people.
Yeah, I'm not like, every day like, here, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. I like put it out there, and if it's like meant to be, then hey, somebody will buy it. Or if they think of me and they want a commission, then they'll like reach out to me. But I just don't like to pester people with my stuff.
I don't think it's pestering. I think it's a fantastic thing to share your art, especially if it's something that you love and clearly you love and you're passionate about. And I know a lot of people are always looking for new artwork. So I mean, I think that I don't see it as pestering.
Right. Yeah. And I agree too. It's just, I don't know. I always feel weird about it. James is always on to me. He's like, you should price this more, or, you should do this or do that or go to this market. And I'm just like, I don't feel as confident as he does, I
But
guess.
you
But,
should because it's
I'll,
amazing. He said he says whatever she charges, add 10% because she needs to cut herself. Yep, he says that whatever you charge, add 10%, people, because you cut yourself short. That's from your husband. Your husband manager.
isn't
I'm
he
gonna
great?
rebrand him as your husband / manager down there. He's doing good.
I know it's so funny. Like my family's so supportive. They really are.
Good.
Like when my book was published, my mom was like, "You know what? I'm going to get your book sold." She's like, "How many books would it take for me to sell for you to quit your job and spend more time with me?"
Oh
And
my
I'm
God, I
like,
love your mom already.
I'm like, "Well, I need 2,000 books sold." I threw out a number and she's like, "Okay, you got it." So she had people like in Virginia, like our family lives there. So she had people up there
She's like,
buying the
my
book,
daughter
like
wrote
my
a book, go buy
cousins,
it
like
right now.
yeah, yeah, like her friends that I don't even know up there, like buying books. She put it in like their local like yard sale.
That's awesome. I love it.
And I'm like, yeah. She's like, she came back to me the first day. She's like, I already sold 12 books. I'm like,
Your mom is
all
on
right.
it. That's awesome. See,
Yeah.
between your mom and your
I was just,
husband down there, you'll get it done. You'll get them all the books will be sold. You won't have to work anymore. You can just hang out and be creative and spend time with the family, and you're good to go.
yeah, make more books. That's what's hard though. It's like when you're working to get that creative bug and then you're just tired from work and you come home, you're like, man, I don't want to drag out all the art supplies just
You're
to try
mentally
to paint
done
something
too,
to,
I'm sure.
yeah, yeah. So I'm just thinking about, the weighing the pros and cons of that. Like, what am I sacrificing or what can I sacrifice just so that I can make sure I'm indulging that creative side a little bit more. So we're working on that a little bit. Hi, Jasper.
Cheryl says that you need to talk to some of the artists that vended spook. Oh, we have another guest. Hello, little one.
They said, hi, Jasper. This is Jasper. He's the one that helped me write the
Oh,
book.
so he's kind of sort of the co-author then.
Yeah.
Oh, well done, Jasper. That's awesome.
Yeah, you're under the table, you silly boy.
I'm going back out.
He's adorable.
Thanks.
So that's the inspiration behind Orange Jack-O-Lantern. Orange Jack-O-Lantern, what do you see?
Yep, he actually inspired the zombie boy too.
I see the
He,
resemblance
when he,
now.
yeah, when he was little, he would run with his arms behind his hands or behind his back. Like he would run with his arms backwards, like the ninja weeaboo
Oh,
run, like
yeah.
the Naruto
Yep.
run. So when I was doing the blue zombie, I did that kind of like same like running style.
That's awesome.
So I was like,
Yep.
this is you, Jasper. Yeah. So he really loved it. And then like, the kids could each see like some character of themselves and, the little paintings that I did. I'm like, I guess, art imitates life.
Oh,
So
definitely.
they're my inspiration.
That's awesome. That's probably the best kind of inspiration you could have. That's fantastic. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time. I appreciate you taking the time to chat with me this evening and to kind of tell everybody about your book and to read it to us. Thank you so much.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was my pleasure. I loved it. It was a lot of fun to do that. It gives me a little practice for when I do it at some signings.
Which you'll have to let us know when you do get some sightings lined up.
Yeah,
We're more than
definitely.
happy to share it out and to get people to go out there and check out the book and to meet you in person. And, if you guys are looking for the book again, head up Amazon, type in Heather Lillie, Lillie, and she'll pop right up. And you can get your very own copy of Orange Jack-O-Lantern.
Yeah, and if you get the book and I do a signing that's nearby, you can just bring your book and I'll sign it or whatever. Bring your kid along to meet me. That would be really cool.
Perfect. See, it really is a family thing, It brings everybody together. The book reading. And
Back. He's like a little cat.
It's okay.
Like, hey, what's going on?
he's your child cat. It's okay.
Like Oscar was.
Yeah. You're like Oscar? Yeah. You're like
No, I'm not.
Okay.
She's a girl. She's in like. There was a girl.
I had them outside for like an hour. I'm like, go outside and play so I could do this interview. I guess they're done
Right.
It was like a nice computer foot.
Well, I won't keep
It's
you
okay.
much longer. Again, I'll share this out on YouTube as well for anybody that missed it. It'll be available also on replay on Facebook. Again, Heather Lillie, check out her artwork. Check out her book. Get you a copy of it.
Say bye, Jasper. Say bye.
Bye.
Okay, go in there for me, okay? I'll be there in a second. He's our wild one. He's the only boy, so he's spoiled rotten.
Ah, that poor
Yeah.
little man.
He's always got like a group of mama hens around him with all the
That's
girls.
not a bad thing, though. That's not a bad thing at all.
Hopefully he'll grow up and treat women
I'm sure
right.
he
That's what we're
will.
trying to do.
I'm
Yeah.
definitely sure he will. But yeah, but thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time and chatting with us. And, hopefully it inspires people to get on out there to check out your book and to get creative on their own as well.
Yeah, definitely. If anybody wants to reach out for publishing information, just let me know. Or if you want to reach out for information about art, paintings, anything, just let me know. I'm always available. I mean, I might not get back to you right away, but I'm pretty good about it. So yeah, just reach
That's
out.
awesome. Thank you so much. And I'll have all the links and everything. I'll be posting them to Horror Happenings, to our Facebook page, as well as our Twitter. And then I'll also be tossing that out on the YouTube channel as well. And Cheryl just popped the link in the chat. Thank you, Cheryl.
Yay, thanks,
So if
Cheryl.
you're in here watching,
She's like your assistant.
she is. Cheryl's the best. I love her. So if you're in the chat and you want to purchase a book, there's a link that Cheryl just popped up. So go ahead and click on that and go ahead and get you a copy.
Awesome. Thanks everybody for coming tonight. If you have any questions or anything, just let me know later on too.
Definitely. Thanks again. Thank you guys all for tuning in, for hanging out with us this evening. And remember, until next time, keep it spooky.
All right. See you guys later.